Hello, hello. Alright, so we're going to do another video. As you can see on the screen, I've got the code up. It is K12345. That was your chance. Alright, getting into the units themselves, I'm going to start out with Formal Val. He's going to be a great PvP unit. A lot of people are wondering, why? Or I'd like to say a lot of people wonder why, but no, it's pretty obvious. So his NE5 is so whenever an ally receives damage that includes himself, restore HP by 6%. That makes him a tank, an absolute tank. Add on the fact that his NE1 and his NE0 also boost defense. You're looking at just outlasting anything that they throw against you. Honestly, I don't think you'll have to worry too much about what's her name, Kagimaru, the counter attack. But he's also a great DPS as well, because his NE7 is if attack buff is active at the start of turn, grant special buff of plus 65% skill damage. That's he's gonna be a great DPS, whether it's PvP or it's raid or trial battles. He's just gonna be great. His actual skills are pretty good too. He has star and wind damage. You could be able to use him to break barriers if you really have to, although he is pretty selfish as far as his abilities goes. They're all self. Even his skills, they all buff his self. Nothing buffs the team at all. So he is very, very selfish. Who would think that Valvatorez would be the selfish type? I mean, that's not even me being facetious. Who would have thought that? Going into the next one, I'm going to go into... God, I hate saying Formal Artina. Some people also like to wonder, why is she good? I'd still be wrong in saying that as well. So she specifically, her NE3 that gives her a skill, she can use it once every 3 turns, but it doesn't really matter. You're using it for that turn regardless. Specifically to grant your DPS, or sometimes a support, an extra action. So basically, after that unit goes, they get another 1,000 action gauge, and boom, they get to go again. But it also grants SP regeneration, so they get another 15 SP on top of it. So in PvP, which I highly doubt she'll actually use this skill in PvP, unfortunately. But if you're using it as your attack team, that SP increase means that they're going to be gaining 25 SP at the beginning of the turn instead of just 10. But it also increased attack and int, so it spreads it out between, you don't have to be an attack focused or an int. You could do either one. As far as her actual abilities go, she's buffing all allies crit rate by 2% to a maximum of 10%. So that's just the very beginning, and that is going to just last. 2 of her would be an added 20%. Add on a Madoka, that's another 10%. Let's say you use one of her extra turn abilities to make Madoka go again and give your DPS another 10%. So now you're looking at 40% CRT, almost guaranteeing a crit, just from those 3 characters. Also, if you have 3 more humanoids, so not a full humanoid party, all allies get plus 30 attack and intelligence. Man, it's really seeming like, out of the formal units, it's weird. Formal Valvatorez is the selfish one, and then Formal Artina is the... interesting as far as characters go, but maybe he's just getting in the character. I don't know. Her leadership ability, or NE0, it does lean on the intelligence side for all allies, but it also increased CRD. So even if you're running an attack-based team, you're not really missing out too much there. And all allies also gain plus 4% elemental damage per allies and party up to 20%. So it's 20% elemental damage boost, which is pretty standard now for a lot of supports. Yeah. And it's worth noting that both of these characters are badass characters, so they have the 40% at NE2 and NE6. So, yeah, we're looking at that. And then we have Future Usalia, which is one that I'm very... I'm going to say I'm the most interested in. Specifically because, one, she's a platinum unit, so she's going to be able to fit into... She's going to be able to be pulled a whole lot easier than all these other units that are coming up. Specifically the gorgeous units, the badass units, and all that. All of the badass units, the two formal units, they're 9%, so they're at 4.5% pull rate each. But Usalia, personally, I think she's on the same tier as Archangel Flown, and I'll get to why. So, her leadership ability isn't as big as Archangel Flown's, it's only 15%, but this is where it kind of goes into the same territory. The main reason why you're going to be using formal Usalia is because her NE3, her buff ability. So an ally gets 40% attack and 35% crit damage, and it lasts for 2 turns. For one, that's a lot of crit damage. That's more than, Archangel Flown gives out. And you're also thinking Archangel Flown gives SP. Yes, Future Usalia does have an SP buffing nether enhancement. It's NE7, but you need 2 knight units, which isn't bad. Personally, I would say run 2 Future Usalias for that. As been pointed out in a couple of the videos you've probably seen already, her NE5 also only buffs single target damage by 18%, so not a 20% damage buff, but I really feel like that extra oomph from the 35% crit damage is going to make up for that extra 2% that Archangel Flown usually gives out. Also, allies getting, this is her NE1, allies get another 20% attack, and it lasts for 2 turns as well. So each one of these is a 2-turn buff. I'm going to go down to Archangel Flown real quick. If I am correct, some of hers only last 1 turn. Where is it? So yeah, so her NE1 only lasts for 1 turn. That one does a 30% buff to base stats and speed, which is good, but at this point, you're either rolling in speed, hopefully, or if you're a new character, you probably don't have Archangel Flown, in which case Future Usalia would probably be your best bet. So yeah, the single target damage is only 18 versus Archangel Flown's 20, and you're only gaining 9 SP versus Archangel Flown's 15. But besides that, you're getting 15% more critical damage, and from the buff itself, you're getting, was that 15%? Yeah, another 15% more attack buff. I mean, that means overall you're getting roughly, let's see, her max out, looking at the training that goes along with it, CRD goes up by 5%, which means you're gaining an extra actual 20% CRD out of that. The attack doesn't go up, but in Archangels it does. So instead of 25, you're gaining What is that? Another 5. So 30. You're still getting 10% more attack buff off of that skill, which makes up for the abilities that Archangel Flown has, but you're getting way more CRD. And overall, that's going to mean, more damage overall. Yep, but the main reason why I wanted to bring these 3 up at the same time is they're all going to have a major effect on, I guess I should say, the meta. Maybe not a major effect, but they will as soon as they come out. Formal Valvatorez is going to be just wreaking havoc in PvP defense builds. People are just going to have to quit because they can't beat the unit itself. Formal Artina is going to be great basically all around as an attack buffer or int buffer. And Future Usalia, if you did not pick up Archangel Flown, I highly suggest Future Usalia. Personally, I think she actually may be a little bit better, but I know she's a little bit more restrictive, and she also doesn't put out as much SP battering. But looking at Formal Artina and Future Usalia together, so a lot of Future Usalia's skills, abilities, and all that last over 2 turns. So the extra turn from Formal Artina will actually stick whenever it becomes the DPS next turn, whenever you're giving them an extra turn. Besides that, go back if you didn't get the code. It's at the very beginning. I'll see you on the next video, and have fun out there with those pulls. You've got a lot to pull for. Again, that's K12345 for the code, 250 nether quartz, and the rest I don't really remember, but they're good too. So editing Corey coming back in right after, finishing up the video. The code only lasts until the, I believe, 22nd. So it's short-lived. It's about 8 days. It's about a week long. Go ahead and try to get in as quick as possible. I'm also going to do a post over on Reddit and all that. And oh yeah, subscribe as much as you can. I think I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for a future unit. I think they're about 2 months out. I'm trying to get up to 100 subscribers. I might do it a little bit earlier, but if I can reach up to 100 subscribers, I'll definitely do a giveaway, specifically for a certain kaiju coming out, with some kaiju merch as well.